Old Heads Only, episode 7. We are back once again. My name is Challz Brown. Right there beside me is Four Eyes the Ugly Professor, aka
Dale man,
that's right.
live and direct.
That's right. He's the beat maker. I'm the mic shaker. Oh snap, Mike already in. Salute. Let me join Mike in.
What's
Mike
up?
Brown.
What's up, fellas? What's up? What's up?
Mike, we just started, bro. I just hit
Oh,
start. We haven't said two
okay.
words.
All right. All right.
Salute. Old Heads Only. We got a good episode tonight. Mike, you here?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you loud and clear, bro.
I can see y'all. I can see you.
Yo, I'm excited about this one. This one's gonna be a good one because I feel like there's a lot to discuss.
Yes. A lot of ground to cover with this topic tonight.
Yeah. What happened to the hip hop group? I even got, let me see. I was gonna put some pictures. I'm gonna put some pictures later, but the hip hop group, man. What's going on, Dale? What's going on with the hip hop group? What's your first thoughts when I say what happened to the hip hop groups? What's your first thoughts?
One less man means more cash in my hands. Best said
Yo,
about
it's
the
crazy.
from Brand Nubians.
Yep.
Facts. Did they break up? Did Brand Nubian break up?
Well, you know, Pooba went solo, but Grand Poobah went solo.
Yeah, he started out as a solo act, came in, they got the group together. Then once as he said, once I got them to a certain space, I felt like it was time for me to do my own thing.
Yes, wow. I feel like we got to start at the beginning because it's gonna be people that's watching that have no idea why we're asking what happened to the groups, because at one point when we was coming up, it was more groups than solo artists.
Yeah,
it was, yeah.
Yeah,
They almost had to
Houdini.
be in a group.
Yeah. You look at Houdini, Run DMC. Prior to that was a Treacherous 3.
Facts. You had Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5.
Yep.
All of that. Sugar Hill Gang. Most of us, I don't say most of us, but a lot of us got introduced to it with Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And then, after that was Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force.
Facts.
Yeah.
Bambaataa, for lack of like a little newer school, like Kid and Play, which is weird to say Kid and Play is newer school. But at one point, Kid and Play was Young Bucks. They were new school.
Yeah.
And they ushered in a whole nother era. But Curtis Black said the easy answer is money and recognition. And he said that Pooba started with Masters of Ceremony. That's a fact. Before, remember Masters of Ceremony before Brand Nubians?
Yeah.
Brand Nubian.
They had a video too, Masters of Ceremony. Sexy, I think it was Sexy. They had the single Sexy.
Yeah, a little reggae vibe. They was mostly doing a lot of reggae too. And them man Boogie Down Productions. But let's start at the beginning, bro. I want to discuss because it's so much to this topic, right? I'm gonna go to Wikipedia and we'll see what they define. It says hip hop, or hip hop known as rap or disco rap, is a genre of popular music. And I was talking about I was going to talk about the actual meaning of rap group. A rap group is a group of people who gather to hold a rap session. A hip hop group is different from a hip hop collective, which is a group of like-minded colleagues or collaborators who don't regularly perform together. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that it
because
says
Outkast is a group. Dungeon Family is
collective.
Collective, yeah.
And at one point we had the Ghetto Boys, NWA, and you almost felt like if a guy didn't have a crew or a group, it was kind of weird in a way, to be honest.
Over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I feel like back in the day when we used to search for our music, most of those albums were bands and groups like Stetsasonic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want another week. I want to talk about the hip hop band. What happened to the hip hop band? But dudes just seem to get along.
Yeah.
Right?
They
It
did.
seemed like everything off Def Jam outside of LL Cool J was groups.
Yeah. Right. You're right.
And I think they brought more. I'm not gonna say more, but they brought a lot to the table. With more members, it seemed to be much more a cohesive record because it seemed to be more people voices in it. I don't know. Maybe I'm bugging out because it seemed like when it got more solo artists, it became more focused on just that artist, and I mean, which is natural, right?
Right. Well, because you figure you had EPMD, Run DMC, Public Enemy, Eric B. and Rakim, the Beastie Boys. You know, who else? There was a ton. Cause I'm looking it up on Google.
Yeah. And I want to get into a list of the best one. I want to do that before we get out of here, but we're gonna just keep it on.
Were the Ghetto Boys like the first group to do solo joints and still stay a group? Because they did solo joints early.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my earliest memory of a group that started doing solo joints or started to have like what I consider internal beefs was that I can remember. Now I know in hindsight, Grandmaster Flash fell out and left that group because he didn't like they were just having issues. The whole group fell apart. But I didn't know that because I was too young to know that Grandmaster Flash fell apart. The people that I remember the most falling apart early was Masters of Ceremony with Grand Poobah. I remember Poobah leaving that group. I remember that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I remember Brand Nubians was born from Masters of Ceremony not being together no more.
Right.
So, and who else was it? By default, BDP broke up because Scholar Rock got killed. By default.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But most of the groups at that time were staying together forever. And not forever, but for the most part, when the group got together, like EPMD had about 5 albums before they broke up.
They had 4 albums before they broke up.
4?
Yeah. Okay.
4 albums. And when they broke up, that thing that thing shocked the world. EPMD?
Yeah, that broke my heart. That was like one of my favorite groups, and that broke my heart.
Man, that was crazy.
That was a say it ain't so kind of moment.
Yeah, and they was on a roll. They was putting people on, DOS Effects, Redman, K Solo.
Yeah. And you know, they were rolling out them.
They was putting people on, and they was blowing up.
Yeah, facts. And they were, you know, the thing is, it was like they were rolling out those gold albums.
Yeah.
You know, and for back then for hip hop, if you were an artist that was putting out those gold albums, you figured they were gonna stay together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What you started to see though was the turmoil was like becoming like, let's see, we had EPMD had their turmoil.
Right.
NWA had their turmoil. Right.
Yep.
Publicly, it was like everyone could see it. And nobody ever stops once the turmoil. They end up going solo. So we start seeing people going solo. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm trying to look at the list and remember, like, I remember Eric B. and Rakim.
The root of those problems is always money, it seems like. Because I just saw an Eric Sermon interview today. Torre was interviewing him. And he said the reason that it all started was he felt he wasn't getting his proper due as far as the money goes. He felt Parrish was getting more money than he was, even though it was supposed to be a 50-50 split.
Right.
Parrish was getting more money than him.
Then that led on to Parrish getting robbed and Parrish thinking that he set him up to get robbed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so and then Ice Cube left because of money.
But he did. He did set him up, Dale.
He said he did, but you know.
He did. He did because if you go back and watch Beef, and they both explained it. And if you pay attention to Eric Sermon explaining what really happened, he wasn't saying that he didn't do it. He was telling you why, if he did do it, why he did it. Because
in other words,
he thought that he was getting more money on him, and he sent somebody over there. And Parrish said the dude he sent, he knew that was Eric's man.
Yep.
That's wild, bro. That was one of the craziest breakups outside of NWA in hip hop history. Was EPMD.
Well, because you know what happens with a lot of groups is
Ice
that
Cube left because of money.
yeah. And the thing about it is that you look at Cube. Cube was understanding. Look, I wrote this. Me and Ren wrote the song, so we should get the writer's credit.
Right.
Dre's gonna get the production that part of it, and my thing is, it was like people that didn't understand the business. Like Cube was like, look, the contract simply says this, and we ain't getting this. Eric, EPMD. That was production credits that Paris Smith was getting.
Yeah. But
so,
Paris also had outside businesses.
Yeah, he invested his money.
And he said he tried to tell Eric, and Eric wasn't listening. So he was investing his money and making a lot more money than just off rap.
Right.
And Eric wasn't doing that same thing. So Eric thought he was getting burnt. When at the end of the day, he was getting exactly what he's supposed to get. But that's how people be feeling when they're not making enough, or whatever they think you're supposed to be making.
Right.
But Ghetto Boys fell apart. Salt and Pepper to a degree because they dropped Spinderella.
Yep.
Yeah.
They still together, but they dropped Spinderella. Kid Play never really fell apart.
No.
And Run DMC never really fell apart. We had a few that stuck together. Even Public Enemy, they still got a lawsuit to this day.
Yeah, they had him and Chuck D and Flavor had some beef
over money. It's crazy. So, but I mean, I'm not gonna say it's always money because Fuji's wasn't over money.
No.
We know wasn't it like a sexual relationship between Wyclef and Lauren?
The X Factor. If you listen to that's why she did the song "The X Factor." That was all about them.
and he had a wife at the time, so she was the side chick.
Yeah.
So that was a whole mess. That was a love triangle gone wrong, and that's why we ain't got no more Fugees. And that messed that girl up so bad. You know what I'm saying? That we ain't got an album since her last album. That was in 1996. When the Miseducation come out?
99.
99.
Yeah.
I don't know about 99, but I know it was like
98.
Late 90s.
98. I want to say between 97 and 99.
Around that era. But this chick haven't done an album since, and groups, bro. Either they fall out.
Tribe Called Quest.
Tribe Called Quest, yeah. Y'all see the dog on Tribe?
Well, because you heard Fife, basically Fife said it. We were done after Midnight Marauders.
And we be begging our groups to stay together. And they never either they become, you don't even want to hear the music no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, either you don't even care no more, or they fall apart and they try to do some solo stuff. Like, who has broken up and was successful after they broke up?
What you mean? Never came back together?
Yeah. Ice Cube?
Yeah, Ice Cube. Yeah.
Scarface?
Yep.
Well, Scarface still stayed in Ghetto Boys. It was just like a different dude. Like they replaced Willie D with Big Mike.
Which nobody liked that.
No, I love that album.
Did you?
With Big Mike? Yeah.
You like Big Mike replacing
Two Deaf Doers, I think the name of the album. That was a good album.
You different. I don't really remember that.
Willie D came back. Willie D came back to Ghetto Boys. They had a run. Ghetto Boys continued on to the 2000s.
Yeah, I couldn't rock with much of that Ghetto Boy stuff when he left.
Yeah.
I really couldn't, bro.
No, Big Mike was nice, Joe. I thought he was better than Willie D.
He probably was. Willie D wasn't a strong rapper, but he was a character that his character made him special.
But Big Mike only did one album with the Ghetto Boys.
Two blind, crippled, and crazy senior citizens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Willie D, bro.
I'll slap your lips off.
And what we didn't know, Willie D had beef with Bushwick.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He still seems like he still got beef with him.
No, he do. When Bushwick Bill died, Willie D did not attend the funeral.
Nope.
And he did not send his condolences. He was like, yo, I'm not gonna pretend that we was good. We wasn't. I didn't speak to that dude for over 10 years or so. They would do a show together and they wouldn't even speak because they didn't like each other.
That's crazy.
And they was like, why do you not like? He said he do too much, he get too drunk, and he want to fight, and we done had too many altercations, and I can't be around him no more.
Well, Bushwick Bill used to do some crazy shit.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, didn't he shoot his eye?
Yep. Well, I think his girl shot him in the eye because he was getting out of control.
Yeah, he was
girl
drunk.
Did it?
Yeah, I believe his girl did it, but she was at the hospital with him.
Yeah.
I think that there are very few groups I want to say that stayed together over 10 years. Like,
oh, I got one. I got one, and they're still together. Souls of Mischief.
Souls of Mischief. Matter of fact, they
still together.
Yeah,
still together. Yeah, I think we can get 10 if we try.
Smith and Wesson still together.
The Bush Babies, the Jungle Brothers.
Yeah.
How many of them? Even though Dave passed, De La Soul still together.
De La, Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. Yeah. The Bush Babies, the Roots. Camp Low.
Yeah, Camp Low. Yep.
Channel Live.
Yep.
Are they still doing stuff? Channel Live and the Bush Babies?
The Bush Babies are. I don't think Channel Live is. EPMD. Yep.
Now, a lot of these people broke up, though, and came back. Like, you see Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh rocking on stage now when they wasn't rocking for years.
Right.
So, a lot of these people we're naming, they had a little hiatus where they broke up, came back. You know what I'm saying?
Mobb Deep did the same thing. They broke up, came back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Run DMC never really broke up.
Nope.
But Outkast really defunct.
Yeah. Goody
Mob.
Mob.
Getting the Outkast album.
Nope. You think shit? Actually, look at the Beat Nuts. They broke up.
Yeah, Tariq left. I think Tariq left. Was it Tariq?
Tariq left.
Yeah, Tariq. You're right. Then he came back into the fold, but he did.
I was following him on Instagram the early part of last year. Actually, 2022 going into 23. I started following him because he's still making beats and stuff, and it's like, damn.
I'm gonna give you one of my favorites that until he died, I feel like Beastie Boys was making good music.
Yeah.
Good music. I feel like they were advancing the game, and they were always edgy with their stuff. And they didn't take themselves too serious.
No.
But we can name some groups that, and I want to talk about this. I've read somewhere online that a group has to be 3 or more.
Okay.
What do y'all feel about that? Do you think a group has to be 3 or more to be called a rap group?
Well, I guess you could say somebody like Smith and Wesson is a duo.
Yeah, I've had this conversation before. Some people were like, you really gotta say it's a duo if it's just 2.
Yeah, like probably say Camp Low is a duo.
Yeah. And OGC would be a group because there's 3.
Yeah.
Now, are we counting producers and DJs? Because that's part of the group.
Because you got Gangstar.
Yep.
If we're gonna count the producer and the DJ as we're supposed to, because EPMD has Scratch. You know what I'm saying? And even Steady B had 2 DJs. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
well, 3 times Dope had 2 DJs.
Yeah. So the Roots.
The Roots. Well, and you look at the Roots, that's an institution because you got to figure that's where Scott Storch got his start.
Yeah.
And then Kamal replaced him.
A lot of people. Jill Scott.
Well, that's a band. I see them as a band.
Yeah. Jill Scott. Yeah. She's the one that actually she wrote "You Got Me."
Yeah.
And Erica
said, nah.
Yeah. Well, we know what that was because she was a big girl, but I'm glad to see Jill went out on her own.
But you know what it was too, though? Not only was she big, they wanted somebody that was already
established. Yeah.
They were like, we're putting a lot of money behind you, and we need somebody that's got it. They do that, though.
Did y'all know Jill Scott was in that Cool C Glamorous Life video?
No.
She's the main chick. Look at that. Go. Yup.
Okay, now I gotta go watch the video.
Yeah, watch that shit. That shit blew my mind. I found that out like a few years ago. That shit blew my mind.
Wow.
But you know what though? I think also what happens to a lot of groups is there's always one person that shines above the rest, and the record
Right.
company sees that, and they start putting that bug in their ear, like, "Hey, you want to go solo? Want to go solo? You know, one check, only one. We cutting one check."
Yeah. What about the Locks though?
The Locks
Jada
that you know,
always outshine him, but he never left him.
no,
Yeah, they stayed a group. They stayed together.
But you know what though? It's a little easier to stay a group when all of y'all eating solo as well.
That's
You know
what
what
I
I'm
was
saying?
saying. That's what I was saying. I was like, Ghetto Boys, like the first group I know to do solo joints and still stay a group. And I think that's
yeah,
how they were able to stay a group.
Right.
Because Scarface did his solo joint early, like right after they like first or second
yeah,
album, did a solo joint. And then he come
yeah,
back to the Ghetto Boys.
yep.
Mr. Scarface was walking down the block.
So that's probably why the Locks have been able to stay together, because they do their solo joints and they come back
But
together.
you know what
Yeah.
else too
They
though?
solo
It
joints
can't
come
be
back together.
jealousy. It can't be jealousy either, because even though y'all still doing your solo stuff and that and this and that, if you really jealous of him, like Leaders of the New School,
Yeah, Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown allegedly was jealous of Busta Rhymes, and that's why Leaders of the New School couldn't work, and Busta had to go solo. He was saying that Charlie Brown was so on him, trying to outshine him, that the group wasn't even functioning no more. I think the dudes had fist fights and all that stuff.
Yeah. They both said it in separate interviews. They used to be backstage, you know, they be beefing, you know, and time for the perform, spit the blood out, go out there and do it.
Yeah. So it's like
that's sad. They ain't do nothing after he left, Joe. It's sad.
Nah. No. Well,
Didn't
because
they drop
remember,
an album without him though?
I don't think so.
I think they dropped one album without him. Let me look that up. I kind of feel like we had a
it ain't make no noise.
Yeah.
It ain't make no noise, but let me look it up, because I think they dropped the album without him, Joe.
He blew up and became a hip hop icon, and they just disappeared.
I swear, I feel like they dropped something after he left. Let me see.
Albums. Let's see. They only had two. Future was on the past and Time.
All right.
Yeah, because that time album really didn't do much.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I didn't really care.
Yeah, I ain't like Time. It was okay, but
they had a few joints on there, but overall it wasn't. It was disappointing.
And you know what it was too much hype.
Yeah.
It was too much. It was too much hype waiting on Leader to come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you figure.
They didn't. Some groups could live up to it. Some can't.
And there's only a 2-year gap between the two albums.
Wow.
91 and 93. And the crazy part is like, if you think about it too, this is when you start to see hip hop groups make, I call it timestamp music. I mean, it was only good for that 1 year.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because if you look at that Time album and you look at the songs on the album, classic material. And let's see, What's Next? And I heard the album. The rest, it was kind of like
What's Next was all right.
What's Next? Yeah,
that was a video for, right? That was a single.
Yeah,
that was a single. I like What's Next.
That was their single. Classic Material. I like Classic Material, and they had another song on there called Plastic, if I'm correct. And that was
joint on there. It was like a posse cut. They had all these other guys on there. That joint used to crank.
Yeah, I think that
songs I used to love on that joint.
Spontaneous. That's the name of it. Spontaneous.
That shit cranks, Joe. I still got that on my playlist.
Yeah, because that's What's Next, Classic Material, and Spontaneous were the only 3 singles that dropped, and What's Next was the most commercial song that they had.
Yeah.
And Classic Material, if you listen to the uncensored version, I'm surprised it even got airplay.
Yeah, but I love that sample. I love What's Next. What's Next? Yeah, I just like that joint.
Mm-hmm. But, even the video was hype, you know?
I don't even remember the video.
Yeah, I remember the video. Yeah, it was a nice video.
They were in Times Square, I believe, in the middle of the day.
Like the fast motion thing there, like move real fast.
Yeah.
Slow it down to normal pace. Yeah, that shit was all right.
I'm gonna go back and watch that because I don't remember. I'm gonna check the comments real
Hey.
quick. Curtis Black said Willie D and Bushwick didn't get along. He also said Q-Tip, Ice Cube, Busta, and Scarface. I guess he's saying that they went on their own and did well.
Yeah.
Naughty by Nature, we didn't name them yet. And he said he agreed with most of the stuff we're saying. But yeah, Naughty by Nature, they're a group, right?
Yeah. They never broke up, right?
They never really break up, I don't think.
Yeah. They just they're not really I know Vin Rock and Tretch had a fight. About because they had some beef, because I know they kind of broke up because KG he left when they had after the Icons album, and I know Tretch and Vinny were like, you can't call yourself an icon when you leave the group.
Okay. I think that's what we need to discuss too. These the ill will that happens with these groups. Why that always happens, and it ain't always money. Like I know we say it's money, and a lot of times it is, but sometimes it just be interpersonal stuff that you just can't escape for some reason. Like Tribe stuff wasn't money. Tribe and Q-Tip and Fife, it had money undertones because Fife was always in need, and Q-Tip would do stuff so he could help him get money. And I think that caused a little resentment. Like even when Q-Tip wanted to chill, like I think Q-Tip was like, "Yo, you're not rocking with me. We're supposed to be broken up, but you're hitting me up to do shows because you need money for your medical expenses." You know what I'm saying? So then when I do the show, you still acting like you don't rock with me. So I think they kind of still had the issues, and they grew up together since they was like in elementary, not even preschool. They met in like preschool or something. But they always had this big brother, little brother push and pull, and sometimes that be what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Because also Fife technically was the youngest in the group.
Yeah.
I think pride gets in the way a lot of times too.
Yeah.
The what?
Pride. Like one person getting more love than the other, or one person is looked upon as the weak link, and they don't like that shit. So they kind of like it festers through the whole group or through the duo.
And for years, Fife was looked at as the weak link, and Q-Tip was getting a lot of love. You gotta think Q-Tip did a movie with Janet Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Janet Jackson love interest. Then when he got killed in the movie, he became a freaking martyr. Like he was a martyr in the hood. Like damn, they smoked him in the beginning of the movie. Like Tip became beloved. All the chicks loved Tip. I'm sure when they went out, who they were screaming for? Tip.
Yeah, because Tip had the voice. He had that crazy voice. He just had, it was like as an MC, he had that package. He encompassed what the group kind of was to a certain degree.
I saw this recent interview with De La Soul. They was getting interviewed on Apple Radio or something. It was real recent, like 2 days ago. And they said they knew Q-Tip was a sex symbol before even their first album came out, because they did a show and all the girls were screaming for him. And they was like, that's our sex symbol. They was talking about like out of their native tongue.
Yeah.
They were saying that's our sex symbol. So that was like
they meant it like tongue in cheek, probably. Like they knew it, but they didn't want to really play it into it.
Like See, and what the thing is that's dope about that too is that as we're talking about Tribe, you look at they came out and their first album dropped in '90, and around that time, there's a group from LA, Freestyle Fellowship, To Whom It May Concern.
Yeah.
And that's a group that they technically didn't break up. They just weren't able to go on tour because of one member ended up getting into some shit. Self Jupiter.
Oh, okay.
And they couldn't tour?
Yeah, they could. Yeah, the label was like, no.
Wow.
And because remember, that's at that time, I think it had to be around 95 and 96. AC Alone, he went solo from the group. Micah 9 was already doing his thing. Yeah. I forgot the other gentleman's name in the group.
He's actually what's the name of AC Alone's first album? It's kind of on the tip of my tongue. Something about balls or something about bouncing. I don't know.
I like a few of his songs. I like a few of his solo songs, AC Alone.
Yeah. Oh my God. Damn it. Because I know he had a song called Mic Check. And the way it opened up, they had this thing called Cali Stylix. And that if you listen to the song, how it begins, it's sick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reach for the mic. 2, 3, 4.
I
And
gotta go
he
back.
starts. Yeah,
I gotta
that's
go
a
back and hear that.
yeah, because that's one
Speaking
of the big. My bad. Go on, man.
go
My
ahead.
bad.
No, I was going while you looking for that. Speaking of West Coast, Farside broke up. Fat Lip left.
Yeah,
They broke up early after 2 albums. They broke
I
up.
remember
yeah,
he was on the
2 or 3
radio talking
albums.
about he broke up.
right. I remember that.
And I still don't. I kind of remember him explaining it on the radio, and it was something. It was an internal. It wasn't money. It was internal. He felt like he wasn't getting his due, or I think that I don't know what it was, but a lot of time when people start saying one person's better than the rest of them, that starts to
Yeah,
seep in the group like that. And I think that's what happened with Fat Lip, because I think he was the most direct hip hop of all of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? The other ones had different styles. One guy was doing a lot more singing. The other guy was doing
yeah.
more harmonizing. Fat Lip was doing straight up bars.
Slim Kid Trey.
Slim
He was
Kid
like the
Trey.
first one. He was like the first one I remember that could rap and sing on a quality level.
I found it, guys.
What's the name of it?
That's AC Alone's mic check.
All right, don't play it because they'll copyright me.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it ain't even that clear though. You can't even really tell.
Yeah.
But you know what else we got to discuss with these groups that's very important?
Yes.
Some of them are thrown together and don't know each other.
Right.
Some of these groups were manufactured and they just get like on some New Kids on the Block. They push them together and now they're a group. I just had one for you. Let me see. It was some of these guys wasn't even artists. Crisscross was not artists. They weren't even rapping. Jermaine Dupri saw them in the mall. He saw them in the mall and said, y'all look like rappers.
Mm-hmm.
He said, y'all look like rappers. I'm going to make you a rap group. They didn't even know how to write raps or rap.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy. Kid and Play wasn't rappers.
Nope.
They was working at J.C. Penney. Herbie Lovebug made them start rapping. They wasn't rappers.
And you know what's funny too, man? You look at Fushnikins.
Fushnikin, can we rock? What's up, Doc?
What up,
Can
Doc?
we rock?
And that was a group that Chip Fu was out there killing it because his older brother was always on the hip hop scene, and Chip Fu said that was his inspiration, his older brother and his friends. I think the other brother was Pac Fu, Chip Fu, and Mok Fu, and I forgot I know the light skinned brother. He was just kind of like a friend of a friend, and kind of just came along, so they kind of just got together, and you saw, and that didn't end well. Because Chip Fu ended up beating up the light skinned brother. Yeah, he did time behind that.
Damn, for real.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. Well, he threatened his wife. He threatened threatened his wife, and he just said, "Oh well."
You don't threaten no man wife. That's crazy.
No.
Now let me ask you a question. In the annals of hip hop groups,
yes,
you place Fushnikins in your top 100. Be honest.
100. No, I doubt it. For me personally, I doubt it.
They're nice. They were nice for a short time, but I even think like the record label started to make them kind of like a gimmick with Shaq getting in there.
Yeah, but Shaq wanted to be in there, and they wanted him. They let him in there.
True.
I don't think that was a label. I think they just wanted the shine that Shaq brought, because Shaq was a phenom, and he was so popular. They probably was. You know what? The label probably did edge that, because that was to be like.
People working with Shaq though. RZA worked with Shaq.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
He got 2 joints with Biggie. He got joined with Nas, Biggie, and Michael Jackson. Like Shaq worked with everybody. So
yeah.
I don't know. Mike gonna sound too like he not keen on Shaq like that.
Nah. Well, I mean, because when we start looking at groups, and sometimes they'll have a special appearance by this one. Like I was never keen on Shaq. I was never really keen on any athlete rapping in the first place.
I understand that. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, but Shaq wasn't bad. He held his own. Let's be honest. He held his own on that Biggie joint. That
Even with
Can't
Meth.
Stop the Rain joint. He held his own.
Yeah. Yeah, and so they always have that moment where they shine.
Yeah, yeah. Now I get it. He's not as strong. You know what I'm saying? Ain't really no rap ball player really strong
I
enough
never bought
anyway.
none of his albums, so.
Yeah, who's
Nah.
that just came out last year with a rap joint? That joint was
Ooh,
awful.
Dame
Antonio
Lillard.
Brown. Antonio Brown.
Oh, Tony. Oh. Well, what was it called? CTE?
I don't know, but salute to Fliz because Fliz liked it. He said the beat was
Yeah.
good, so he liked it. But I couldn't rock with it. I tried to listen a little bit. I was like, I can't. But you know what I'm saying? Most athletes they're not meant to rap.
They
No.
say Dame Dollar can rap. He be putting out albums.
Yeah, Lillard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say from what I hear him spitting, he was nice. He was nice. But still, even a nice rapper don't mean they can make an album. Like we saw that with Cannabis. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you could be the nicest. It don't mean you can make a good album. And most of these battle rappers, when they try to do an album,
No.
what's this guy? How many battle rapper albums you sit down and listen to? Not many.
No.
Really, I think Cannabis. I mean, I think Cassidy probably one of three that you really say went the next level outside of battle rap.
Because you know why? Because
Even his albums weren't great. So even Cassidy albums weren't great. They were okay.
Yeah, right.
They was just okay.
He had some hits on there though.
Yeah, he had hits, but they was just okay.
And you know what too? When you look at the time of the artists came out, you got to look and see how hip hop was moving at that time, because a lot of our favorite MCs and groups were getting phased out because they weren't really taking the cheese. They weren't sitting there going to the commercialized route.
Yeah.
Where you look at we look at Buster, the Coming album. That album had it had a good blend of the poppy shit, but then it had that even tone of I'm gonna give my guys and my ladies who want to hear an MC, I'm gonna give them some bars. I'm gonna give them something.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like another manufactured group to me is G Unit. Think about it.
Well, I see them as a collective.
No, they was a group. At one point, they did an album together. They had shoes together. They was a group.
Yeah, but collectives do albums together. Dungeon Family had albums.
But
Hieroglyphics had albums.
What would make them a collective and not a group?
I just seen it as like they was all solo artists and they decided to do an album together. He just said, let's do a whole album together.
No,
I never seen them as a group. I didn't look at them as a group. Now maybe I'm wrong, but I never looked at them as a group.
On that Dale, you bugging, because they all came together as G Unit. At one time, they wasn't even doing no solo stuff. One time they was all G Unit. They was on tour. It was G Unit, this, that, and the third. They had the sneakers, the shirts. They was a group. They only fell apart because
they was a collective. I don't see them at all.
I mean, what group don't do solo albums though? Like every group does that at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's
like I don't see Dipset as a group. I see them as a collective.
But they literally got albums called Dipset, and it's you know what I'm saying? Like, I say Dipset is more of a group than most groups, because they was a brand. Like, I wouldn't say they're a collective, because you only had when you're a collective, it's more people coming in and out. I don't think, like, if it's three of us rapping, I don't think
they had more. They had Hell Rail. They had what was the other guy? They had a few other guys. It just wasn't as popular.
They did. I mean, if that's the case, then Wu-Tang a collective. Yeah. Why we say Wu-Tang is a group and they're a collective? If that's the case, everybody collective.
You're right. If
that's the case,
you're right. I just never looked at G Unit as a group. I don't know. But you're right.
I know what you mean, because they kind of was already doing their own thing, and then he put them together.
Yeah.
What's your boy from Houston? Young Buck.
Yeah.
I feel like they was thrown together. 50 and Lloyd was cool.
Yeah.
Tony Yayo was not even a rapper like that, and Young Buck is from nowhere. And then they added the Game, so it's like he was trying to top every corner of the market, and it kind of backfired.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Good business model.
That's before they even put out their album.
I think you're right, but he had already did all them tracks with 50, and you know what I'm saying, blew up from that.
Yeah. Good business model. Good business model, but just the chemistry.
Yeah. Bone Thugs.
Yeah, they're a group.
Bone Thugs was always in the middle of some internal drama. Like as far I'm talking 20 years ago. The Busy was in.
I think they always had. I think Busy Bone always was the one that was always having problems because I think he drank a lot and shit like that.
He was always having issues. It would always
not
be
showing up for shows and shit like that. I think he was like the problem.
Then two of them is together, two of them not together. Then they got all these add-on bones that they making, and you know what I'm saying? Like I can't name the other bone groups, but they started having was it Flesh and Bone, all these different spin-off groups, and it just it became like it kind of hurt their legacy low key, but they still got their fans though. But Bone is cousins though, I believe, right? Ain't they all cousins?
I think a few of them. I don't know of all of them.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I watched a bunch of Bone interviews. I think they related some kind of way. Some of them anyway. But Sugar Hill Gang wasn't a group. They was thrown together.
Yeah, that's
wasn't even rapping. So that's when the label gets involved and they just like, we want to capitalize off this hip hop thing. Let's put some people together and make them into rappers. That's when you really get these. But Sugar Hill Gang right now, to this day, the ones that's alive is still touring.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But what I'm starting to learn is rappers, especially older rappers, will fall out. And then 10 years down the line, they'll realize, yo, we could just do these shows and get this bag. We don't gotta really be the coolest of friends. A lot of that stuff is old news. I saw something the other day. I was watching somebody's Unsung.
Was it DOS Effects?
Bad fallout, huh?
Was it DOS Effects?
I watched DOS Effects Unsung, but it was somebody older than DOS Effects. They had a bad fallout, and then they ended up touring together again and everything. They was like, all right, we gonna get this money. I've seen, if you watch almost all of those Unsungs, all of those groups get back together.
Yeah.
All of them. They break up for the money, get back together for the money.
Yep.
That's pretty much what it is.
Because you know, it's like you just, in fact, Troop was a group like that, you know?
I watched the Troop Unsung.
Yeah. That was over money.
They had a wild little, their whole thing was wild. The Clips.
The
Clips a group?
Yeah, they're a group. Sure, yeah.
Well, they broke up because your man left.
Yeah, he went the religious route.
Mm-hmm.
Boogie Down Productions. Bro, I forgot how many people. I was watching KRS-One's brother.
Kenny Parker.
Kenny Parker. You watch any of his videos?
Yeah, I've seen a few.
I be watching his videos. And he started naming people that I forgot about was in BDP. He said Willie, ICU.
Yep.
All these different names of brothers that used to be in. Because at one time I was heavy on BDP, and I used to know everybody. You had what's the female? Not Miss Melody, but it was another chick singing in there. Was it Harmony or something like that?
Yeah, it could be right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Learn. They had a whole. They had about 10.
D-Nice was in Boogie Down Productions.
D-Nice, Just Ice. They had a mob, bro. They had about 3 or 4 producers. His brother was making beats, and some other people was making beats. And the DJ, D-Nice was the DJ, but they had somebody else too.
Yeah, D-Square, Lee Smith, Levi 167, Miss Melody, Cool DJ, Red Alert, Heather B.
Heather B was with them. That's how we first started rocking with her. That's
Sydney Mills. So they got a whole bunch of. They had that was a conglomerate.
That was a conglomerate. Them dudes, yo, and they rode everywhere. I was listening to him talk about when they rode up on the dude from PM Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
How that escalated. They went in that joint 60 deep for PM Dawn. Like, it's funny. Now you look, he threw him off the stage. It kind of was like he went down in history for that.
Kind of was
like a little over the top.
Bullying for real, you think about it.
He threw this dude. This dude gotta be, that dude probably weighed 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And he pushed him off the stage onto the floor. And nobody caught him, so he hit the floor, bro.
Bam. He went
Prince,
bam.
what's his name? What was the name of PM Dawn?
You know,
I ain't his name. The lead dude. I forgot his name.
Because it was
I'm
two
not
of them.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend.
I used to know his name.
I wasn't feeling him. If I wasn't feeling it, I just didn't. You know, I didn't get into
that
it.
one song they had, the singing joint.
I like that one song. Mike was like, I ain't rocking with it.
Set Adrift or Memory Bliss.
Yeah. I like Set Adrift.
What is it? My turn. Who was the
joint? It was what it was, Mike. It was a different era, Mike.
Oh, it was. It was. Shit. I mean, I don't know, man. Damn. See, there was so many groups back then, from like the late 80s into the 90s. There was a whole bunch of groups that came out that just, you was like, man, they look like they're gonna stay around, and then nope.
Curtis said his name was Prince B.
Prince B, okay.
Prince B. That's who it was. Salute to Curtis in the building. He said Criss Cross was at least friends and Illegal was thrown together. Was they throwing Jamal?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
Really?
Malik and Jamal, yeah.
Yeah.
and Jamal.
No. And remember, Malik became Lil Hershey Loke or some shit like that afterwards.
But before that, he was Malik B. Then he turned into something else, and then it was.
He was on First New album.
Yeah, Pump Pump.
Pump Pump. He got his man on that one too.
Wow.
Oh, he killed. He bodied that. He bodied that. Because Snoop sounded like he was just sleeping through the whole song, and then Malik comes on there. It was like, oh, and out of that album, I'm not even going. That's the song that I like the most. You can keep the rest.
Out of Pump was it?
Pump Pump, yo, the way it comes on, that pump. And what made me like it even more was when they played it in Above the Rim in the beginning of the movie when the homeboy was working out. I was like, I said, now I really have I like the song even more so because I had to go back, borrow the album from a friend, and I was like, that's it for me right there. Pump Pump. It's something about the song, man. It's like, especially if you play sports or whatever, you just wanted to get into it, you put that on, it took you to a whole different place.
Okay. All right, it is what it is.
That joint was nasty. That's
you know what?
A good song.
Yeah.
Jamal fades them all.
Oh
yeah, that was a joint too. That's when he was with the Death Squad, right? He's with the Death Squad and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to do an episode about kid rappers like Chia Lee.
The youngsters.
We need to do a whole episode.
Yo, let me tell you. Chia, I know we talk about groups, but Chia Lee, the Funky Lemonade remix produced by the Beatnuts.
Yeah.
That goes hard.
Yeah, that joint was tight. I had that joint.
Man, life was good around that time, bro.
Yo, and the youngsters, Pastor Mike, once again, I revealed the skills mighty strong when I grasped with the mass appeal. We all know who took that and sampled it and turned that into a hit.
I used to love Cruise Pop. Cruise Pop was the shit.
Yeah.
Cruise Pop is the hip hop.
Yo, and Wild Child.
Yeah, oh man, that was a good era. And a lot of that came out when it was warm outside, so it was like crazy. Hey
man, and you know what? And the funny thing is, a couple of years back, one of my coworkers we were trying to tell another coworker at one point in time that Providence from the years of 96 to 90, from 95 to 98, this shit was wild. It made me think about all the music that came out, especially like spring and summertime. You know how it is around here. You get certain songs, you play them, it becomes that summer anthem, spring and summer anthem.
Summertime.
Yeah.
There it is. The groove
slightly transformed.
Where was you at when that joint dropped? When he premiered it? Did you see it when he premiered it on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yes, yeah. Sitting in my living room.
Stay tuned at the end for the first ever music video premiere on that network TV. That joint was crazy.
Yep. I remember that.
Summertime was one of the most unexpected hit records. That was probably one of the best records that you didn't expect ever, bro. That joint was so dope. I had it on a single, and I used to just let it flip over and just keep going. I used to ride the Culpeper. They don't know Culpeper was like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
The cassette, just let it flip over, let it play. Here it is, the groove. Here it is. Like just, I wasn't listening to nothing else. Just that joint. Oh, here it is, over and over. Yo. And they had a B-side. I think they had the instrumental and something else, but nah.
Cause shoot, that was 91. That's the same year remember when Michael Jackson dropped Remember the Time? That was during the In Living Color.
Yeah. And Remember the Time video still holds up. A lot of stuff Mike did still holds up.
That's that joint with Eddie Murphy in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
they doing like Egyptian shit. Yeah.
Yo, that I talked about it on my Frisian. You just to mention the song gets you going.
Yeah.
In fact, yo, while I got you, what's up?
Produced that joint?
Yes. Yep.
Teddy Riley showed. What'd you say, Dale?
I think Teddy Riley produced Do You Remember the Time for Michael Jackson.
I think you're right. I think you're right. So it feel like we feel like we can narrow it down to money, jealousy, and them just not being friends from the beginning. They just throw them together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was watching the Little Brother documentary, and they said they broke up because Fonte wanted to stay independent and Big Pooh wanted to get on a major.
Yeah.
That's how they split.
Yeah. Because remember, Pooh being a little bit older, not that much. I mean, Fonte being a little bit older and understanding the business, and was like, I'm never going back to a label.
And Big Pooh wanted to go back to a major, and that's how they split up.
Yeah. He wanted that security, and Tay was like, no, we got to gamble on ourselves.
Yeah, he's like, we can do all this shit ourselves. They ain't really doing shit.
He was right.
That's
another reason to break up. They could have did it themselves. But let's be honest now. Me and Dale we did that independent route as Mud Kids. We was back in the late 90s. And you can do it. It ain't easy, especially back then. It ain't nowhere near like it is right now to be indie. Back then, just 1,000 CDs was a lot. That was thousands of dollars just to get 1,000 CDs. They would have had to print. They would have had to do a lot. They would have had to get financial backing, and being independent was not easy, especially for a group that was national already off of a major. They could have. Don't get me wrong. They could have did it. They could have got a distributor and yada yada yada. And somebody would have worked with them, but it would not have been as easy to do it. And that's why to this day people still run the majors. Right now, with every reason not to do it, somebody still run the majors. And now Russ will tell you only people running the majors are people are lazy. Only rappers that's running the majors are the lazy rappers because you don't need a major right now. But it's difficult. But I would say go indie if it's me. But that's a dumb reason to break up. It had to be more than that.
No, that's what it was. Because even Pooh was like, yeah, he said if I had a better understanding of why, we wouldn't have had that break in between. Because their breakup was hard to the point where Pooh had some health issues, and Tay was like, I ain't calling him.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that's wild.
And then, but you know what? He said, it was a 5-hour phone call. They hashed that shit out, and the reason, and I say honestly, I think they're better off without Ninth Wonder.
Yeah, they don't get along with Ninth Wonder, especially Pooh. Big Pooh don't fuck with him, Joe.
Nope. That to me is like one of those like a small question mark as a what if they had stayed together, because once Ninth got that call from Jay, and they were like, okay, well then you go there, we're gonna do our thing here, and like Pooh said, we didn't ask you out here, the label did. We don't want you. Basically, we don't want you here.
That's wild, and it's crazy because before all that, everything is gravy. Then you get plugged in, and now it's like whatever. But I mean, it's self-preservation. I guess he looked at it like, yo, this is Jay, bro. I'm gonna go plug in over here, and if you're a producer, I guess your whole thing is more ears.
Yeah.
But you know what too? And without Little Brother, we wouldn't have right now. You think about it, they came out in 2002. And let's be honest, and hip hop in 2002 was kind of trashy.
It was crazy.
It was bubble. It was basically gangsters dressed up in tank tops doing pop songs.
But the South had taken over by that time. The South had really taken over by that time.
Finger popping, big jerseys, big, pants and Air Force Ones. They were making anthems about street clothes and you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
just
like
like
crunk.
trying to.
You had
They was
little John was like real hot, getting hot around like on
hats
that
were on
time.
backwards. They was just it was caricature of hip hop. They were being driven by the industry of
all
what
that
hip hop
snapping.
was. They weren't making hip hop. They were doing what the industry said hip hop was supposed to be.
And that, you know what, too, that's also one of the things that led to the death of the hip hop groups was the fact that it was you had the guy who's over the top. Then on top of that, you could tell a lot of those guys really weren't into the dancing shit. Some of them just really wanted to actually get on the mic and rap.
Yeah.
The industry politics, because a lot of them were just like, nah, I know what you're up to. Nah, you're taking the ability to create away from us. We can't write the songs we really want to write.
Yeah.
And in certain groups or duos was up in the ante. Outkast just kept up, like they upped the ante. If
By
you want to talk
02
about,
though, Cass was kind of winding down a little bit.
they were.
But they had already upped it.
Yeah.
But at that time, Nelly just said something real. He went viral for what he said. He said
that
at
was
the
the
time
hardest era.
He said that was the hardest era. It was DMX, Jay-Z, Eminem, Nelly, Luda. He said at that time to try to sell records, you had to be insane. Your music had to be crazy. And he's right at that time. But that was one of the most commercial times. What year did so Blueprint came out in 01, 2001, right? Am I bugging?
Yep. Yeah, Country Grammar came out 02.
Huh?
Country Grammar came out in 02.
Right. Around that era of, like you just said, 02, 03, I want to say that was some of the most commercial formulaic rap. Because let's be honest, Nelly doesn't survive in any era before that.
No.
He's not all the Country Grammar, Air Force Ones, apple bottom jeans, all this stuff. None of that would have flew before 03, 02, 01. It would not have worked. You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't have worked. The labels got a hold of it. The radio was like, it gotta pop. We're not gonna play it if it don't pop. It gotta be hot. It became, we gotta make hot records that's catchy, easily digestible.
All about the clubs. It was all about the clubs.
Yeah.
It was all about the clubs.
And I'll say this too: what killed a lot of the good hip hop groups was when mainstream radio took over. It was also the death of the independent radio stations. So they weren't able to get their airplay.
And let's be honest, let's acknowledge that mainstream radio stuff was that one conglomerate was buying up all the stations.
Yep.
I believe her name is Radio One, if I'm not mistaken.
Swallowed
up all of the small stations and became a conglomerate where you couldn't tell what city you were in because they were going to play the same thing all across the East Coast, all across the West. So it became they're syndicating shows like you could, just like for instance, The Breakfast Club is syndicated in probably 50, 80, 100 markets. That means that market at that time has no voice. That's somebody, I mean, I'm not taking nothing. Breakfast Club is a great show. But what I'm saying is that market has no voice at that 4 hours that they're on because the Breakfast Club is out of New York. And now whatever cities they're in, that local talent is squashed. So that's what happened with the music too. You could go, I used to ride through New York, dog, listen. Riding through New York used to be the most, that was the highlight of my life at that time. Because I would go back up to Rhode Island, I would drive down to DC. And when we got close enough to New York to hear them stations, all right, pipe down in here, we putting on New York radio. Because you was going to hear everything. It was all New York flavor. You wasn't going to hear stuff that you heard everywhere else. Like when Big L died, I heard it on the radio. It was like, yo, breaking news, Big L was shot tonight, da-da-da. I was going through that city that night. They were like, Big L has been shot and killed. We just got word. Like, so it was like, you got local stuff right there. And they would play his music. Like, it was like, I used to listen to Stretch and Bobbito going through there. So it was like, New York was what it felt like New York. The last 7 years going through New York, your ass could be in South Carolina. You could be down, you could be in Atlanta. It sounds like everywhere else. You can't. It sounds like everywhere else. Every city sounds just like every other city. So it's like that's what happened to the smaller or better or underground hip hop, however you want to say it. I remember a time when on the radio, J. Rue the Damager would come on right after Method Man, and then Gangstar would come right on. You know what I'm saying? Then Pete Rock would come right. Like it was like stuff they call it old school boom bap right now. That was mainstream. That was
Hip.
on the radio. That was the hot.
Yeah.
That was the
Yo.
hot. Like if you was in a club, huh?
Yeah, I
When you was
remember
in a
Broken
club,
Language used to get played a lot.
Broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. If think about
Group Home
Sprite.
got burned. Group Home got major burn on the radio.
Yo, think about it too. You know, you mentioned Pete Rock and CL Smooth. They were on the National Sprite campaign.
Facts.
Yeah.
Think about that. You know, there was a time like in the 90s, I was, bouncing up and down, going from here to New York for various reasons. As you said, man, the closer you got amped because you're gonna hear some exclusive shit too.
Yes. Exclusive. And then God forbid you going through and Flex dropping them bombs on something brand new. You know what I'm saying? Just like crazy.
But the other part about 90s hip hop, especially here, you remember WRIU, URI's radio station.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. Just it's not the way it used to be.
No.
But you remember, you knew you were gonna hear some flavor from there too.
I first heard so many rappers. I first heard Eminem on WRIU. I first heard it was I Just Don't Give Up. I heard that on I heard that on there. I was like, dog, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, I'm like, dog, this dude, he was impressing straight up backpack lyrical, black, white. He was like, yo, you were like, yo, this dude's crazy. I don't even know who this. I thought he was black.
Yeah.
That's how nice he was.
Hey, J Live. The first time I heard J Live was on 90.3. Them That's Not. That's if I was like, I had to call in and I said, hey, who is that? They were like, J Live. I'm like, okay.
You was one of the dudes who used to call in. See, I never got to call in because I was always in my car. I was never in the house really.
I would wait. See, the days Lefty and Lady Ruck were on, I would just call A. And just real quick, like, yo, who the hell was that? Sometimes Lefty, oh, Mike, that was such and such. Like, thank you, bam. That's how I got it. If I would see, okay. I see Sharon in the streets, like, hey, I could say, the other day you played such song at such a time, and she was like, yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
Let me do a quick comment check.
Yes.
My man Curtis said UTFO sang as well. We were talking about groups that sang. Yeah, Whistle sang. Was UTFO, wasn't that Whistle? Didn't UTFO turn to Whistle, or are they two different groups?
No, two different groups.
Okay. I had both of those albums. Y'all thinking about some of the stuff I used to listen to, I'm like, boy, you was wild. But anyway. So salute the lad.
UTFO had a song called Masturbating. It wasn't the title because they couldn't title that, but that's what they were singing in the song.
That's wild.
I think it was on their second album.
Bump UTFO. In fact, they take it seriously. We're only bugging.
That's Whistle, I think.
Yep. Early days of hip hop videos too.
Was that Whistle?
Yeah.
I thought that was UTFO.
Nah. Well, Leader of the Pack was UTFO.
All right.
Remember UTFO Leader of the Pack?
I look back now, I'm like, bro, hip hop had to change because some of that stuff I was listening to was really, really crazy. I used to love some Mantronics though. But let me finish. So let me see. My man Lad said that said that damn, I lost. Okay, that Malik B was from South Carolina and Jamal was from Philly.
Okay.
And he said that Tretch wrote Cruise Pop for
the youngsters. Yeah.
And then he said
I believe KD did the beat.
Okay, so they was up under their wing then.
Well, they had different producers come in. They was from Philly.
Because I know Pete, I think Pete Rock did Wild Child. Shit. I forgot who did Pass the Mic. But they work with a lot of different people. Okay. And we know Tretch still wants that money for that jump shit.
Oh, and Chop said, I just found out Boss passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dale told me that before we went live. Boss, R.I.P. to Boss. One of the most hardest, but not hard at all, female rappers. Dog, we thought that was. Yeah, nah, she bodied that. No, listen, we need a whole show about that because she had the hardest at the time, Boss had the hardest gangster record. It come to find out she was a college grad who grew up in a suburban neighborhood with white parents, went to a private school, and she was not gangster. But she had the hardest gangster record and the hardest gangster image in hip hop. And they still doing that to this day. And we need to figure out, is that okay? That need to be another show, a whole nother. Is it okay to be from the college and you raised by 2 white parents and Clarence had a really good dad? Like, you know, like, is that, you know what I'm saying? Is that okay? Like,
hey, what's funny about that? I was listening, looking at Cam and Mace, they sports show, and they said Pitbull and Flow Rider used to be gangster rappers.
Yeah.
Wow. I think I heard that before.
Yeah. And they couldn't find their way doing the gangster shit, so they did pop.
That's
yeah, because I know when Pitbull, remember when Pitbull first came out, he had that edge to him. He had an edge to him. Then as you know, once he got that first taste of that commercial hit, like let's turn these down a little bit and let's get the suit on. You know,
you know why I respect Pitbull. I'm gonna be honest, because you can see that he's a guy. It's like those cartel members. They gonna do what they do for money, but don't play games with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do what I do. I get up here, I'll sing and dance, but we're not gonna play. You're not gonna play with me at all. I'm not. This not that. And I'm not mistaken. Now Pitbull went to jail. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I think I read somewhere that he came out of prison and went and started rap. I could be wrong. But Chop also said that. Chop said that Little Brother didn't go like that. I guess he's saying that it was more to it. And salute to Shaman. He said when we gonna get him on. I'm gonna get Shaman on. I wanted to get Shaman on and have some conversation with him. Cause he's our age. And then Curtis said R.I.P. the Boss, the second lady of Def Jam. Who the first lady? Nikki D, right?
Yeah, Nikki D.
Nikki D had Daddy's little girl. She's still on Instagram. She be popping her shit. And then Curtis said Heavy D and the Boys, Kid and Play, also Sprite. And then Curtis said Pitbull used to rock with Uncle Luke. I kind of low-key remember that. But I think that some of the groups stood the test of time.
Yes.
Like, do we count if they're still touring? Because I feel like Salt and Pepper still tours. Heavily.
They just came out with a new song.
Did they?
Yeah, Eric Sermon produced it. I forgot the title of it.
That's a strange group because Salt was out of the game for a while over religious reasons.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to do none of the songs. She's like, I don't want to rap about that no more. I gave her to God, and I don't know what got her out of that and got her back, but she's been back for about 10 years or more. But at one point, she was like, I can't rap that stuff no more. And they're not even rapping nothing crazy. Just a little sexual stuff, a little here and there. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They ain't doing no ball shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe she was talking about the sexual stuff. Maybe she was talking about the sexual stuff, like, you know, push it and all that shit.
Yeah. But that's one group that over religion. Drake dropped out the game. Dog, if I had to really guess why Drake dropped out the game, do y'all know why Andre 3000 really, what made him pull away? I think I got some ideas. But
you always say he got bored with rap or something like that.
I think, I'm going to be honest, if I can get in Drake head for a minute, I think he saw it starting to go in circles. And he started to see what it was becoming. Like, it was another artist that I saw that started seeing what hip hop was becoming, and they was like, I can't rock with this. I think it was either Fresh Prince or somebody of that ilk. And they were like it's kind of like they saw where it was heading, and you couldn't really breathe in it. And I think what happened with Dre, not only did he get bored with rapping, I think he saw that you weren't allowed to be as creative as he really wanted to be.
Right.
Because look at this. You got people complaining about the damn Flute album. You know what I'm saying? Like, let him do what he want to do, bro. If he want to make a Flute album, let him make it. It's people like Vlad, DJ Vlad. He's like, why you bring that dumb ass Flute album out? Da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some people still complaining. He ain't dropped the album in 20 years.
I was just talking about that today on Instagram where I was like, people are pissed off over Beyonce making a country song, right?
Right.
But I'm like, but hip hop embraced every white guy that came in there without a bat in the eye.
Yeah.
And people tend to forget country music before was jacked. Well, that's right, we did it.
Yeah.
The band,
That's literally our music.
yeah, the banjo didn't originate in the South. It actually comes from Africa.
See?
Bro, it was, you know, so which means, oh, that's right, it was already here. Oh,
And you know what else? The literal term cowboy is a derogatory term for black men in the West. And it became something. They were outlaws. They worked and they did what they had to do, but some of them was outlaws and they did everything that you see in these movies. Those were black men, but that term became, they flipped it, and now they wanted to be cowboys. At one point, if you was a cowboy, you was the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then it became now it's a football, it's America's team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all the movies got John Wayne, he's a cowboy. You know
Clint Eastwood. Oh, you know, and spaghetti westerns. They took it and ran with it.
Yeah. So
Andre be killing them features though.
Oh shit. Yeah. It, you know, to me, I mean, you got a good point there, Charles, where, you know, I think he got bored with it. You know?
Yeah.
He got bored with it. And
he got bored. You know how you know he got bored? Because that Love Below, he did that alone. I think them I think a Big Boy studio session is different from a Andre. I think Big Boy is 30 people, pit bulls running around, drinks, ice cream, like all kind of stuff going on, like whipped cream sprayed in the air, chicks button, they topless. I guarantee you, them sessions is way different. Mad weed smoke, a lot of laughing, and like it's right. If you're an artist like Dr. Dre, he got tired of that. That's why Dre. They said them Death Row sessions with Dre. They said it was none but most of the people in there was gangbangers. They wasn't even rappers. They wasn't even artists. Most of the people was bloods. Like
they said very chaotic, very chaotic.
Very chaotic. You can't even think in there. It's like, yo, nigga, yo, what's up? Like it's like you can't. If you're an artist, you're not. If you're a true artist, it's not a gangster, and you don't want that energy around. You can't create like that. And then imagine how many people putting their hands in the mix of what he's trying to do. Okay, that worked on the Chronic. Yeah, okay. Everybody, put your hand. Now we just beyond the Chronic right now. I don't need everybody input on every song. You know what I'm saying?
I got this.
So, yeah, it probably was too much going on. Outkast was getting too big, and they was expecting him because at one point, remember, it was like, is he gay? Is he this? Is he that? Like everything he did was getting scrutinized. Like.
Yeah.
Oh, he got that genie hat on. Like everything he did was getting. They was criticizing everything. Dude was like, "Yo,"
and that's why I tell people, if you're gonna go listen to the Love Below album, go listen to A Day in the Life of Benjamin Andre, and he breaks it down. He breaks it down from Outkast to where he is at that current state in that current time.
Who did that?
Andre 3000. It's a song he has called a Life in the Day of Benjamin Andre. And it's one of my favorite songs by him. You listen to it, it's like, oh, okay. Because everybody thinks that, you know, Badu got a hold of him, he changed. He said, no, he was wearing that before she even got around.
That's true. Because at one point they thought he was they're like, is he gay? Is he genius? Is he aliens? Like, it was like, he was already doing that.
Yeah. Because, you know, the thing is, I know.
What's up with your folks?
What's up with your boys? What's up with your folks? Man, don't play right. Don't lock you in here. Man, y'all still some thugs, man.
I tell you what you don't got. I tell you what you don't got.
That pimp trick gangster click out.
You
want the Outkast? Nah. I
don't fuck with them.
Got the stem season 6, huh? Yeah. How much for the Oski Woski? For you? 55.
In fact,
hey, the plane ticket.
In fact, I gotta get
Cass. Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
Yo.
See, this old folks stuff. You had to hear that.
You had to be there.
This shit right here, bro.
No, you had to be there for it. You had to be. That time in hip hop was so. I think it was like a beautiful time.
It was.
You know.
What did he say? What was her name? He said, Keisha, huh? Go get that box and that pimp trick gangster click out the back. Okay.
See, that made that whole thing. Yo, in fact, I gotta get you on my live, Charles, because last week it was me, Mandel, and my boy King Vibration, and we
what night was this?
what that was I think that was that Monday last.
No, it's Thursday.
Thursday, yeah, I can't, man. Everything blends into it.
Yeah, it's going too fast, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Old heads.
Yeah, old head. Yep. But hey, that was a hell. That was a hell of a live because we talked about we broke down the Mind of a Saint deluxe album.
So y'all would have been better than I wouldn't have been no good on that because I only heard that like once.
Well, the deluxe. See, here's the thing. The deluxe album got what was it, like six additional tracks on it.
I love that album though. Yeah.
Well, what he did was he completed the album. He put the additional tracks on because remember the album came out before the series ended.
You talking about Skyzoo?
Yeah.
For people who don't know.
Scott, yes. So he went in and recorded additional tracks. And the songs that stick out to me, man, are Give You Anything and The Freedom Dance. And The Freedom Dance is like, well, I'll Give You Anything, man. That's the one that hit. I don't know why it just hits me right in the heart. But this, oh man, you gotta go listen to it, man. Go listen to it. And the thing is, I was watching Sky on Instagram. He's like, listen, you get the album, listen to it its entirety from track 1 to the very last track. He said, and it's like, because you heard the album, it takes you from it just brings you back to season 1 right on up to right with like the very last season.
Excellent. So let me do a comment check real quick.
Yes.
Curtis said Salt & Pepper was on the Rock the Bells Festival and the Force Tour, which I was trying to go to, and I kept hesitating on the tickets. I kept about to pull the trigger, and I just didn't. And they actually canceled the show and moved it a couple months out, and I still didn't. I was mad at myself. I missed that. But they got the whole thing on YouTube. Somebody recorded it from the crowd, and I watched part of it. It was a good show. And then Chop said Andre did Love Below in a weekend. L.A. Reid said that. He said that Big Boy had done his album, and Andre called L.A. and said he was going to do something and did the whole album in a weekend.
Damn.
And Curtis said, I'll say this. When you're a group, you got 1-2 verses a song. Doing 3 verses for 16 tracks might have been too hard. That's true. But, and then Antoine said he loved the content. He's a huge fan of the channel. And he said, peace out, Antoine Alston. And he said, ATL and Stankonia and Aquemini. So yeah, I feel like we trying to. I think we touched almost all the reasons what these groups be going through. I think even with our group, Dale Mud Kids, I moved away. Like it's just a lot of stuff
broke up.
gets in the way. And you know what? If people don't even be traditionally breakup sometimes, it's like I'm out, I'm good, I'm done. We didn't even do all that. It's just like it phased out. Yeah, we had our little internal beefs too, and we gonna do a documentary. I got a documentary come about that, but. End of the day, some stuff just run its course. Right? It's like some people you see together like Organized Confusion.
Yeah.
Organized Confusion just ran. I don't know what happened. Prince Poe and
Pharoah Monch.
Pharoah Monch. At one point, I couldn't see them not together. When we used to go, we went to Howard Homecoming that year that Organized first came out. And these dudes, I never seen 2 dudes so in sync in my life. Like I'm talking about. These dudes were the first dudes I saw with mic. They both had a mic, and they was rapping in each other's face like they was like chickens, like and they would do this little move, and then they would go around each other like that and like rap that up, and then they would cut each other's sentences off. Yo, it was the illest thing I had ever seen any rappers do. And it's like they was choreographed it, where they would step certain ways and go around each other while they rapping, and it was like they had to be really close.
Yeah.
They even want to be that close to each other. And it's like they was rapping for each other, bro. Like to each other's face. And I thought they would be, I'm like, if anybody gonna stay together, them 2 dudes gonna be together forever. And not too much longer. Well, it was a few years.
They only did like 3 albums.
At best, if that.
Yeah.
3 albums came real fast because Organized after the first one, I think the second one. What was the second one like? Do you remember what the second one was?
I love that second album too. I can't think of the title of the album though.
Yeah, I bought them on Organized Confusion, hip hop duo, according to Wikipedia. And at one point, Organized was poised to be one of the best groups, and it just didn't happen.
Yep,
Bro,
they had
did well by itself though.
Yeah, they had 4 albums.
Oh, they had 4?
Organized Confusion in 91, Stress the Extinction.
Yeah, Stress, that was a good album, that second album.
Yep. The Equinox in 97, and their last one was 2020, the Demos.
Oh, okay. So that's like some lost tapes type shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably to fulfill their contract.
So Equinox is 97. I remember running to the mall to get that and kind of being a little disappointed.
I was disappointed. I ain't really care for that.
Yeah, I can't, because the cover was banging like the Equinox, Organized is back, da-da-da. Because they had nothing. Stress came out in 94 and Equinox came out in 97. That's 3. This back when you waited. You wasn't getting no 3 years was normal back then.
Yeah.
But for some stuff, some people dropped every year, but most part, these dudes was going 3 years for an album.
Yeah.
And I remember going to run and get that Equinox joint, and I just was like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this joint.
Yeah, I ain't really careful.
Let me look at the track list because I'm trying to remember what the hell.
What album? Equinox?
The Equinox.
Equinox. Okay, songs. Let's pull them up.
Damn, 21 joints on there.
Yeah.
I'm sure some skits though, but oh
they
yeah,
had
I remember.
a guy narrating the joint.
They had a
They had a guy narrating the joint. I remember that. I remember that's the only thing I really liked about the album, because they had this guy narrating the joint in his voice. He had like a real deep voice. Okay. He was kind of like making it interesting, but other than that, the songs didn't really hit me.
Nah, and it looked like 5 skits. So out of that 21, 5 of them is skits. So, you know what I'm saying? And I remember that it came on, because this is when dudes was mad lyrical, and they came on with, they don't want it. And I ain't like that song. The bitch ass niggas, they don't want it. They don't want it. I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, when Organized started talking about bitch ass niggas, I was like, what is happening? Because they was lyrical, bro. I was like, what's going on? They was like trying to be hard or something. I ain't like that. And then Questions, Diamond D produced Questions. But
I think In Vitro was the only song I liked.
In Vitro was a good track.
Yeah, that was a deep ass song too.
I think Hate was all right. They produced that one. I think it's the one where they got the song. Now, this is what people don't remember. Organized had already did a song about a bullet.
Yeah, they did it before Nas.
Straight before Nas.
Straight
I remember that song.
Yeah, Straight Bullet.
They killed that joint. And people don't remember that. Now Nas did it in backwards. He did it both ways. I think he did one about the bullet. And I think he did it in Rewind where it was back, where everything went backwards.
I Gave You Power was the one he did before the one he did on the second album. It was Red.
Yeah. Matter of fact, like 97 was a year where a lot of stuff started separating. Like stuff that was, it was like started really, like the cream was rising, and the stuff that was so-so, that's where it started splitting up. Because Wu came, and a lot of stuff that was supposed to be this and that got shut down. Like, let's be honest, J. Rue went down. J. Rue blew, he came up real fast and da-da-da. But then after that, and then and we love J. Rue, but it was it was 3 joints. It was 3 joints by J. Rue. It was
You Play Yourself.
Playing Yourself. And then the other one, The Prophet.
Yep.
You got me, you may have me, you killed my wife, but I have others.
Yep. That was man. You Can't Stop the Prophet.
Yeah, that was the joint.
But J. Rue's first album to me is like one of those albums that just
I love his first album. His first album is tight. Come Clean.
Come Clean. You can play that album today.
Come Clean. That's one of the Come Clean to right now. If you play it, it sounds like some crazy boom bap. that would be the first song of the mix on the radio in the city. Like it would be Come Clean, and then I remember it was Come Clean, and then they would mix it with Group Home.
Yep.
Right.
What was it, Superstar?
My mom's didn't understand. I was flipping Who's the Man.
Oh,
Group
yeah.
Home would come on. Then they would throw MET.
Living Proof, yeah.
And they had two joints. Group Home had two big joints.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Method Man, MET, and then they would flip a Fuji's joint with Method Man. Right?
Yeah.
And then they would throw a Gangstar joint. So all the stuff that we saying was the era, that was mainstream. That was on the mix at 6. You know what I'm saying? That was the Traffic Jam, was Method Man, Wu-Tang, all that stuff. So that was regular degular hip hop at the time.
So here's some of the 97. Here's some of the hip hop albums from 97. Wu-Tang Forever, Company Flow, Fun Crusher Plus.
Oh, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, I had that too.
Fun Crusher Plus. You had Notorious Big, of course, Life After Death, Capone and Noriega, The War Report, Camp Low, Uptown Saturday Night, Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Future Development, Jay-Z in My Lifetime Volume 1, Common, One Day It All Makes Sense, Missy Elliott, Super Duper Fly, Buster, When Disaster Strikes, OC, Jules, Kool Keith, Sex Style, Ghetto D, Master P, Scarface, The Untouchable, Diamond D.
That list is.
Oh, this is, man, Diamond D, you had Hatred, Passion, and Infidelity.
You know what? You
proved
my point right there. Because a lot of that stuff was classic stuff, but a lot of them people started to fall right there. Because hip-hop started to go bigger. Diamond D, OC, and you said Company Flow. That was the year where hip-hop was decisive. Like, we going to throw it all in here, but some of this shit ain't going to make it out of this year.
Yeah. Yo, I mean, the Firm album, that flopped. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
All over the place.
Yeah.
You said Master P and the Firm.
Yeah.
All over the place.
I got one. I got another one for you. I got 3 in a row. I got 3 of them for you. I'll give actually 4. Sound Bombing, Volume 1. Okay. Jungle Brothers, Raw Deluxe, The Artifacts, That's Them. Slum Village, Fantastic Volume 1. Hey, here's another one for you. LL Cool J, Phenomenon.
Oh, okay.
Another
That's
comeback.
All in 97?
LL making another comeback.
Yep.
That's all in 97?
Yeah, this is all in 97.
Phenomenon?
Yeah. Yep. Mace, Harlem World.
Wow, I thought Mace had stopped rapping by then.
Oh, wait a minute. Rakim, The 18th Letter.
Wow.
But that was his first solo joint, right?
I think, was it?
Yeah, I think that was his first solo joint.
I was
without Eric B.
disappointed by the 18th Letter. I'm gonna say blasphemy. I know all the righteous big head brothers gonna be like, how dare you? But I was disappointed by the 18th Letter.
It was okay. It was solid. It was solid. It wasn't great.
Oh, we forgot. KRS-One, I Got Next.
Oh, that was
his best album. One of his best albums.
The Alcoholics, Liquidation, The Crew, The Dirty 30.
That was a wild year. God damn.
Yeah.
I heard almost everything you naming too.
Yeah.
Man, we must have been spending mad money in that damn record store.
Killer Army, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars.
Killer Army?
Yeah.
I might have got a bootleg of that, or like somebody might have burnt that for me.
My cousin TG used to buy all that shit.
I know I ain't paid for no Killer Army.
No, yeah, my brother Dre would. My brother Dre would. The Beat Nuts, Stone Crazy.
Oh, that's
Tony
my joint.
Tony bought that. I listened to Tony's copy of that.
I bought that joint too. That was my joint.
Atmosphere, Overcast. There's so, I mean, it was so wide ranging, you know?
That's a beautiful thing. We don't have that no more.
That was the 90s though. It was the 90s had so many different styles and angles in different directions.
In fact, I'll even go back 96. I would
listen to Compton's Most Wanted, then listen to the Alcoholics.
You
see what I'm saying?
I bet you sorry MC's never seen this. A sucker punk hung up by his penis.
Now, 96 now. This is a year. The first row alone. Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. Nas, It Was Written. De La, Stakes Is High. The Roots, Philadelphia Half-Life. Tupac, The Don Illuminati. Dr. Octagon, Kool Keith. Exhibit at the speed of life.
Kool Keith always kept something out there. Always.
I put that Octagon joint on vinyl.
Who the hell kept giving Kool Keith these deals?
Man, they look, yo, that boy's out. He's out there, but yo,
yeah, they loved him. They loved him.
Shit, Mad Skills from where?
Wow, from
Mac Mall.
That album was terrible. I ain't like that album.
Yikes.
Nah.
Running on Mad Skills.
Man, that joint was terrible, Joe.
You can't tell him that, boy.
Nah. Oh, Shaddai X Wild Cowboys, Chino XL, Here to Save You All.
Chino XL.
I used to like that Chino XL joint.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I used to like Chino XL, but I said he borderline. And you're supposed to be arrogant. You're supposed to be cocky. But I was like, this dude's a little bit think he literally better than every single body. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I understand you're supposed to say that and you're supposed to feel that way, but I think he really believes it.
He was doing that shock value shit before Eminem.
Yeah.
He was saying some wild shit. He was saying like Tupac got fucked in jail. He was like saying some wild shit.
It was strictly for
he was just going hard.
Yeah, he was going hard. He's right.
Shit, in fact, you mentioned Tupac in '96. All Eyes on Me, Mobb Deep, Hell on Earth. The Fugees, of course, we know the score. Outkast, ATLiens.
Oh, this was 97?
96. I jumped back to 96.
That's a wild, listen, that's a crazy year.
Think about even Redman with Muddy Waters. Wrath of the Math for J. Rue.
How do we get anything done with all this music?
Right. Yo, Razkaz. Yo, shit. We got Razkaz, Soul on Ice, MOP, Firing Squad, Buster the Coming album, Eminem, Infinite.
Oh, that was the first one. I never heard that.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
It just dawned on me what happened. That is a influx. That's every label throwing everything.
Yep.
Anything to see what sticks, and you got the indies. It was Masterpiece Indie. You know what I'm saying? So it's
they
throwing every right there. That probably the best time to get a record deal, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was so much money. CDs was $20.99.
Yeah.
They're like, dog, we spending a 55 cent on a CD, and they gonna buy it for $20.99. I remember when CD prices became so ridiculous, dog. I remember they was $20.99, and the damn single itself was $9.99. It was crazy.
Yeah, because remember back then, a lot of these artists were getting what 50 cents per album sold.
If that.
I think Michael Jackson and Janet had. I know Michael had something crazy like $2.25 off of every CD and album sold. After
he negotiated it.
Yeah. And pretty much said, well, I own the label. Oh, and that, we can't forget 96. Lil Kim Hardcore and Foxy Brown Il Nana.
Wow, same year.
Yeah, same year. It's crazy. I mean, because you think about the 90s alone, we sat there just like, yeah, right. How did we get anything done? How did we get? Because I know I sure as hell didn't get shit done. No.
You in 95 in your Walkman.
Yeah, you sure did. Yo, in 95 alone, 95 only built for Cuban Links, the famous purple tape. The purple tape. Oh, hip hop heads, purple tape, you already know. Showbiz and AG, Goodfellas, The Far Side, Lab Cabin, California. And it's like you said, man, groups and solo acts were killing it. AZ. Yeah. I mean, AZ, Do or Die, I should say.
Damn. You know what's sad about this, Mike, though? A lot of these people ain't been hot since this.
Nope.
They was hot that year.
Yeah. And that was it. Channel Live, Station Identification, King T for Life. Damn. Oh wow.
But we were such a crew that if somebody had something, so you was going to be able to get somebody bought this, somebody bought that, so you could borrow from him or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Los would do, just take it out the car when you get out. Los will snatch your joint out the car as he getting out. And you try to chase him, he gone, he run the house. Give me back my slum village, like whatever.
Yeah.
Where's my diamond chail? Like the fuck.
And you AC alone, who his album was called All Balls Don't Bounce.
I told you.
Yep.
What I say earlier, I said something about balls.
Balls. Yep.
Balls and balls. I said it's something about balls, something bouncing balls. That's what it was. All balls don't bounce.
Yeah, and I think there's one. Let's see, going down this list. Oh, the dog food album came out. Jealous One's Envy.
Damn, Fat Joe. Hold
Yeah,
on, Jealous One Envy. That's the second one or first one?
The second one.
That's the second one.
All right, because I was going to say, Fat Joe couldn't have been that mediocre at that time. 95, 96, if that's when he first came out, he was really mediocre when he first dropped. So it couldn't have been his first joint. His first joint was back probably when
92
D and them was out, and Andre the Giant, Lord Finesse.
Yeah, that was 92.
No way he came out with that little stuff he was doing. You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta let him know, Joe.
Yeah, that was 92, 93.
Yeah, that was old school.
Remember Mike Geronimo, The Natural came out along with
Poverty Talent. The Master INC. That was my shit.
I got so much respect for him now after seeing him on
Matt Hoffa.
Matt Hoffa. Because I didn't know his story. I just thought he just fell off and was corny. But that's not what it was. He had a lot of people make a lot of bad decisions for him.
Yeah. I know he mentioned Jay tried to really help him out a few times too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Said, you know, he said Jay was like, you know, you can't be getting drunk like this. This ain't really who you are. Made him question. He made me question life.
Yeah, I remember the video. What's the video where they chasing him and ends up on the dock of like a boat dock, and I think they shoot him or somebody gets shot or something. I forgot. What's his biggest record? Mike Geronimo.
Mike Geronimo, I think, was Master IC. That was his biggest single. But that first album I think that was his biggest and his best album. Because that's the one thing we know. I noticed about the '90s was that, like, certain artists would come, like, I call it the Nas effect, because when Nas dropped Illmatic, we expected him to come out with an album of that caliber every time.
Right.
Mike Geronimo dropped that Master IC. We were like, I remember I was like, yo, the album got to have that entire vibe. And when I heard the album, I didn't buy the album. I heard the album. I was like, man, you know, I might come back, because I was so like between 94 and 97, those 3 years, I'm looking at, I just had it too, the 94 list. Oh boy, computer. You always want to mess with me when I'm trying to do some work. All the time.
Way off track.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at the groups though, man. Like Organized Confusion, we know it's a duo, but they had that little run.
Yeah.
And
it was to us, the hip hop heads, even though they didn't sell that much, they was damn near gods to us. Like, yo, Organized, OC, that whole little clique, and they wasn't running with native tongue, but that felt like some native tongue type of stuff.
Yeah. Because I mean,
who would imagine that OC wouldn't have been? It would have been, you would have been like, the best MCs for the next 15 years gonna be OC, Big L, you know what I'm saying, Mike Geronimo. You was like, yo, but that ain't how it went.
Yeah.
And OC did not catch that break. But OC, first of all, his name is too easy to get lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, only real hip hop heads gonna check for somebody named OC. You know what I'm saying? It's too easy, bro. Like, it doesn't stick.
It's too plain.
Yeah. I mean, and then you figure what, Time's Up. I mean, his first album was good.
Yeah.
You know, the follow-up was kind of like,
I thought the second album was good too.
Yeah,
Duels.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about that time though, Mike and Dale, was they started figuring out the formula of it. So as OC and these guys are coming in with these bomb lyrics and this and that, that's becoming not the formula. The formula is becoming, I can't go a day without my sunshine. Or like, like all the little stuff Jay doing on Volume 1, which, by the way, is one of my least favorite Jay joints. is volume 1 and 2 of Jay's.
I think volume 2 is way overrated.
Yeah, it is.
Super
But
overrated.
But when it hits, it hits. Like Streets is watching and stuff like the joints on there.
Well, Streets is watching on the first joint.
So what's on the second one? Yeah. That's when I was not in the Jay. Jay got me back with the Blueprint.
Yeah.
Because I was a Reasonable Doubt guy. So I'm like, you're not spitting like Reasonable Doubt no more. You're doing a lot of commercial stuff. I really couldn't rock with it. But I still like some of the stuff. What, Imaginary Players on volume 2?
That's on volume 1.
Yeah. Goddamn, what's on volume? Hold on, now I need to
volume 2 got the joint with him rapping real fast with Jazzo. Nigga what? Nigga who?
Yeah.
All right, so I wasn't rocking volume 2. Hold on.
I think that album is overrated like shit, though.
But you know, at that time, I remember, you know, hanging out with a lot of different people, listening to music with a lot of different people. I see
the list. Yeah, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I felt like that then. I was like, okay, you can see, all right, they're gonna oversaturate the market with this guy to the point where people are gonna feel like he's the only MC out there. And then if you mention anybody else, they're like, who's that? He's I don't know, I never heard of that dude before. And I'm like, okay, you listen to Channel Zero. You don't even watch Channel Zero. You just listen to it.
So yeah, this joint was kind of like lackluster. Handed Down, the intro, Hard Knock Life, which you knew going out the gate, which is the biggest record of his career. But you knew coming out the gate, like, okay, this joint might be funny style. And then, but I like how it was okay.
I like one of the few songs on there I like.
Ride or Die, but I got tired of it quick.
See, I had to off this list. I had to revisit an album, and I got it on my Amazon. It's in my playlist. Dred Scott, Breaking Combs.
Oh yeah,
I remember that joint.
I used to rock with that joint. Yeah, that's a sound. That's a specific sound. Like
that's a deep cut.
That's work past whatever that 6 months era was. Like I rocked with Dred Scott for like that 6 months. I was like, this shit fire.
And to a group that you mentioned the last time we were all together, the Coup, Genocide and Juice.
Yeah. I had bought their first 2 albums, like first 2 or 3 albums. Yeah.
Because I was heavily socially conscious. I was on that heavy, like, because I went back listening to KRS-One literally last night. I listened to this dude was saying some of the most intelligent. Go back and listen to You Must Learn. I think we forget how powerful and deep what this dude was really saying.
Why is that? Why is that? It's deep when he talking about breaking down the Bible.
Why is that? All that, especially that ghetto blueprint era, all that. This dude is talking about literal, straight up historical facts and putting them into rap form and putting a hook on it. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about why they did this and that and third, and why black people are where they are. Like this dude. So I was on that. So like Dred Scott and the Cool, Paris, all that stuff. I was hard on that. But then things change and rap change, and then you got Group Home talking about what they talking about. You got Gangstar. You know what I'm saying? It just changed.
You think about it too. 94. This is it, according to Google. The sun rises in the east. That's J. Rue. We had Method Man has a whole album to Cal. We're talking about weed. Oh, Blowout Combs, Diggable Planets. That's 94. Gravediggers, 6 Feet Deep. That whole album. You listen to what they were talking about.
I ran to the mall and bought
horrorcore, whatever they called it.
Yeah.
I ran to the mall and bought that Gravediggers, dog. I ran to the mall, got that Gravediggers.
See, my brother.
Right. It was all right. I wasn't mad. I played it.
But my brother, he lived next door to me at the time. That's a big woo head. Anything that's got RZA, Jizza, anything on it. I remember he was like literally waiting in my bedroom. I'm like, how the fuck you get in here? You live next door. I was like, wait a minute. He's up there playing with all my shit. I'm like, well, what's this? He said, yo, man, you gotta hear this, Mike. And we listened to it. I was like, okay.
That's a crazy group. You got RZA, Prince Paul, with Fuqua, Sonic.
Yep.
Too Poetic. That's a crazy group.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Gravediggers was the beginning of the end for Wu as we know it.
Yeah.
Because it's like it wasn't the Wu sound, it wasn't the Wu style, and it's like RZA's over here doing some other stuff. But me and Tony was doing hardcore. We was called Twisted Mystics. We was doing that shit right around the same time before that shit even dropped. We was already doing stuff like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
we was called Twisted Mystics, and some of our songs was like, I remember the song we wrote where the dude I had about a dude came and caught his girl doing something with a man and killed himself right there in front of them. Like we was doing stuff similar to that. We was trying to be as weird as we could be, but still keep it hip hop, blah blah blah. And I think that's why I liked it. But I feel like with Grave Diggers, you start feeling like, yo, this feel like they not a cohesive unit. They feel like they doing just anything right now.
Mm-hmm. Damn, man, this is the whole group thing, man. It's amazing to sit here and think about it too, man. Like as I'm scrolling through these lists, looking at some of the artists and the groups. Brand Nubian and God We Trust.
Wow. I like that first one better than the second one. But I did like the second one. I had that second
one. That's when Boo Bad left.
Yeah. That's when they was doing it, just them two.
Yeah.
Don't let it go to your head. No.
That's when they came back together. That's when Boo came back.
Okay, yep. Oh, Antoine said he loved the Grave Diggers and Flatliners at the same time.
Oh, I forgot about Flatliners.
Yeah, I used
they
to
was doing
rock
that hardcore shit too. Yeah,
I used to rock with it. And who else was around? That's what you know. What though? The youngsters, Jamal started to get a little horrorcore, a little bit. I don't know if y'all remember. He started to get a little edge with the baseball bat and this and that.
Yeah.
He started getting a little edge, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A little bit like that, a little bit. But
yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just so I love when we start talking about hip hop because there's groups that you forgot about or albums that you forgot. Because you always get it you get an artist at one time and then at the peak and you forget all about the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So who are the groups now? Are there any groups left? I mean, not the old groups that stayed together. I'm talking about like who are the new groups within the like last 10 years?
Let me find out.
The only one I can think of is Coast Contra. That's the only group I can think of.
And Migos broke up.
Yeah, but they broke up.
Yeah.
Coast Contra is the only group I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking it up. Rap groups in 2024. Damn. They named a bunch of they named a bunch of solo artists. So
there are no more groups.
It says 12 groups to look out for in 2024. There's a Brooklyn rap group called 41. Felina Boss, Philly Goats. There's a lot of people that I don't know. Kool-Aid, Homicide Gang. Like I don't know these people. So I mean, yeah, I can't really say. It feel like it's no groups, and I'm sure some groups here and there. But overall, if it is a group, it's probably some gangbangers or something. But I don't know. But it's changed, bro, and that's all we got. I guess we can wrap it up. I think groups are gone for real. We will never see it again. Then again, there was a group spitting on Instagram. Some young boys like spitting like they was from the 90s.
I think you're talking about Coast Contra.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, one of them is Rash Cash son.
Yeah. I think there's two of them in it. I think like two of them.
It's four.
There's four of them, but I think two out of the four are Raz Kaz's kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. They can rap, though. They go. They be going.
All right.
Yeah. That scenario freestyle they did.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the one.
My boy T Francis put me on there. He kept telling me, Coast Contra. I'm like, all right. I said, I'll check them out. I was like, okay. Shit, got me a new group.
All right, gang. I had a great time. Antoine shouted out Blase Blah. He said the album was underrated.
Yeah.
I remember that one song. They had that one big song when the East is in the house.
Yeah.
And then he said Represent, first album by Joe. Was that Fat Joe's first album called Represent?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't really care for it. I ain't think he could rap too well back then.
Nah, man. Nobody really was rocking with Joe's first joint.
I just like the beats. That's all.
You got a flow, jump. You got a flow,
I
jump.
think Group Home could rap. I just like the beats. Lil Dat was all right, but
you know what made you like Group Home? They were so real and they were so passionate.
Yeah. Lil Dat was all right. Lil Dat wasn't bad.
But you know,
go ahead.
You know, everyone says it. Premier saved them. Premier saved the album, the production.
He gave them some heat.
Yeah.
I think that was an issue with him and Guru, that he gave that heat away like that.
Yeah.
I could be bugging, but I kind of
you're not bugging.
I can see that happening. Guru, like, you keep giving everybody these damn beats. You give Jay-Z beats, Nas beats, Biggie beats.
Well, because remember, the actual beef between them started with J. Rue.
For giving him that Come Clean beat?
No, the whole album. Then it went over to Group Home, and they were like, yo, this guy's always trying to come in and, you know, that's our boy, but he's trying to always come in and muscle some shit from somebody.
Oh.
And
they say they used to have a lot of fist fights. Him and Premier and Guru used to have a lot of fist fights.
Yeah, they used to live together. They used to live together, man. They had Bradford Marcellus' old spot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's funny is I did so Big Suge is out in Boston. Salute to Big Suge. And I did a show years ago with Big Suge and Ado. And it was like, I said, what's going on with this? Was when Guru was still alive. And he's like, I said, what's going on with Guru? Can we get him out here? He was like, nah. I said, we don't really speak to Guru like that no more. Like, they had stopped talking years before he passed away.
Damn.
Yeah. Because I remember when I saw him in concert here back in '94, he was doing Jazzmatazz. Guru was doing the Jazzmatazz album. And we were like, damn, like, so I guess there's no Premier anymore. Because remember, we thought when Guru went solo and did Jazzmatazz, like, there's no more, guess there's no more Gangstar.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Jazzmatazz wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It was good, but it wasn't no Gangstar, which it wasn't supposed to be.
No. It wasn't. But I actually like the first two Jazzmatazz out.
They're not
I like
bad.
the first two joints.
They wasn't
bad.
No, remember that was the first one had "Trust Me" with him and India Davenport from the Brand New Heavies.
Yeah.
They went to college together too. They're good friends.
Yo, that was an era right there. You just hit another era. Brand New Heavies. That's a whole show right there talking about these bands and from back in the hip hop band, Stetson Sonic. Like that's a whole 2-hour episode, bro. I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
I'll be on here all night. I know we all got work.
Take your medicine.
If you let us talk, we'll be here at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Take your medicine.
Do gotta go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. 5 o'clock comes quick around here.
Yeah, let me get off this joint. Old heads only. We appreciate the people in the comments. Lot of comments tonight. I didn't get all of them, but you know, Kev and Antoine and all the Chop and different people, salute you for watching and commenting. Curtis, Lad, just a lot of people. And we appreciate y'all watching. Listen, we'll be back in next week. We come up with these topics the week of. We don't know what the topic gonna be next week, but we try to make it interesting and hopefully y'all was entertained. We talk about a lot of old stuff that you had to be there. And if you're trying to Google this shit, good luck, because it's so much. Like, I can't even remember all the shit we just talked about, to be honest with you. But, hey, Keisha, get that box of that pimp trick gangster click out the back. Okay.
Flag on the play. I'm throwing in the towel on you, the white napkin.
All right, gang, I'm out, man.
Right.
I appreciate it. I'll see y'all next week.
Next week. Peace.